Hey guys, welcome to Chinita's 100 once again. This is a design that I am going to do using my coral mix that I made. Previous video to this one, I showed you how to make this coral mix. If you want to see it, there'll be a link down below in the description bar. But basically, I'm just going to start by using this coral color and just applying it. I like to start first at the smile line area, get that situated first, and then proceed to do my actual design. And I like when I'm doing, what I'm going to do here is do a slanted kind of an angled, you'll see right now. And when I'm doing this type of design, doing angles, I like to use my beads of acrylic a little bit more wet than usual. That way it's easier for me to do that swiping motion that you see me doing right there. And it's more easy to manage the acrylic that way. And I'm always patting down and making sure it's not too thick, because since I will be encapsulating, especially I'm going to use this kind of like stringy type iridescent tinsel. It's huge shreds. I think I got this at the Dollar Tree, and basically I'm just going to place a very wet, thin, tiny bead of acrylic, and then I get my little iridescent strips and I just hold them down there for a few seconds, and then once it starts to settle in, I go ahead and trim the edges, the excess, and then I pat it down, help it adhere even better with my acrylic brush, making sure there are no bubbles and making sure it's nice and flattened out, flushed to the nail tip. And once again I go back, once it's completely dry, that area, then I go and trim all the excess tinsel. I'm going to use these little iridescent circles, very pretty, and it's just to give it a little bit of shine here and there. Once the light hits the nail, it's gonna just look so pretty. It gives it a little extra shine. I wasn't sure where to put it. As usual with my designs, I don't really know where I'm going until I'm actually sitting there doing it. But a good tip to use is, I didn't have to use any glue or any additional acrylic. What I did was wait for the colored acrylic to get a little bit tacky, almost hardened, but not just quite. I would say 80-70% hardened. And with the barrel of the brush, as you see, I go down and press into the acrylic and making sure that the little decorations are nice and embedded. And here I'm going to use crushed shell, and I put another very thin, very wet, very thin layer of acrylic, and with the brush, with the wet brush, I just dampen into the crushed acrylic and I place it, and that's how I adhere it, and that way it's not too bulky at all, and I don't have to spend so much time filing because it's not bulky. And then I grabbed a little bit more of the tinsel that I used at first and just put a few little shreds on top. I wanted to give the bottom of the nail a little bit of shiny area. That's why I did that in that corner at first. But now I also want to give it a little bit of that extra shine here and there, the little extra shimmer. So that's why I'm adding that in certain places. And then now just encapsulating with just clear acrylic, making sure all my decorations are nice and covered, so I don't ruin it when I file, but I make sure it's not too thick. That way I don't have to file a lot and I avoid that extra time in filing. But yeah, you see me covering the picture again. I'm sorry guys, I tried my best. But yeah, you see me patting and doing the swiping motion, going up towards the nail bed and then down, just to make everything more uniform. And then I encapsulate the final tip. I'm sorry, I'm getting out of frame there too. Just making sure I'm encapsulating the whole tip, including to the very end of the tip, and making sure my crushed shell is nicely protected. And once it's dry, here I start filing the sides, and then I file the top of the nail. And since it was very thin and even, I didn't really have to spend so much time filing. But after I filed it off, I cleaned the dust, and now I start with my 3D. And you'll see in this video, well, what little I let you see, that kind of messed up a couple times and I had to restart. But and I wasn't really happy. There's some days where the 3D just comes out very easily to me, and then there's other times where I just struggle. And right now, at that moment, I took it off because I didn't like it how it was coming out, so I just started doing it again. And I think I was having much more of a harder time because it was kind of warm that day, and I didn't use any acetone to help it harden, and I didn't wait enough. So that's why I think I was having a lot more harder time managing the acrylic to stay how I wanted it. But there's days that it comes out how I want them, and then there's days that it just doesn't. But I just put a bead right in the center and then just encrusted that crystal right in there. And then with the striping brush, I just basically made a little stripe right across that area. I didn't really, I don't know why I did that. Mostly I just wanted to try out the striping brush I had just purchased. And then I put the gel coat, except for on the leaf. In the flower rather, I go around it, and then I also do the gel on the bottom, especially because it's clear, transparent, and since I want the little tinsel that I put to even glisten even more in the sun, in the light, I go ahead and do that. And here is the final result. I hope you guys like it. It's just an idea, but I will be doing more summer spring designs, so please stay tuned. Rate, comment, and subscribe if you wish to do so, which will make me extremely happy, of course. And if you have any suggestions or anything you would like for me to do, just comment below. But thanks for watching, guys, and see you till the next one. Bye bye.